Hello and welcome to a special main event edition of 1CW right here on the Delmarva Sports Network. Three huge main event matches ahead of us. The 1CW Women's Championship will be on the line as Stevie Brooks has demanded her rematch against Big Daddy Adriana, and this match will be a street fight between Big Daddy Adriana and Stevie Brooks. Also today, a casket match between Big T Windsor and Team Tabor, a match that neither of them wants to lose. And also today on this main event edition of 1CW, the Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Ty Awesome, the guy with the supply, challenges the champion, Sean Carlson. And earlier today, actually Ryan was able to sit down with the number one contender for the 1CW Heavyweight Championship, Ty Awesome. Let's take a look.
Ty, it's been a couple of months, and I don't even know where to go with it, but tonight, you have a match with Sean Carlson for the Heavyweight Championship, and you can get things right tonight. What are your thoughts going in? Give me your game plan going into tonight's match.
So many thoughts I had last month, right? I remember when we had this talk last month, I had so many thoughts running through my head. You know, there was a lot of variables. There was Brian Morris, there was myself, there was Sean Carlson. Tonight, I get the rematch that I should have gotten. Mano a mano, one-on-one. Carlson, you may be my friend, and that championship is my goal, and nothing's going to stop me from getting that back.
Now, we know that you and Sean Carlson, ranch hand, have had a long history. I mean, many matches. What do you do to go into a match like this when you know each other so well? How do you prepare? How do you go into, what is the strategy behind trying to take that title from him?
I mean, Carlson's tough. You know what I mean? He's got thick skin. I'm literally going to have to give him everything I have. That's just how it is. You know, that's what friends do. That's what brothers do. Sometimes you have to lay it down. Sometimes you have to throw your heavy hits. Someone's got to win. And that person's going to be me.
I think the real winners are going to be the fans tonight here in House in Delaware, as we have Ty Awesome, the guy with the supply, going against the champion, Ranch Hand Carlson. Back to you with the Des Moines.
Ty Awesome challenges Sean Carlson today for the 1CW Heavyweight Championship, and this match starts right now.
Split crowd here. One way to get your mojo back is to win back that big blue beautiful belt. It could really help Ty Awesome put a lot of doubt to rest. He has done it once before, lost everything and gained it all back, and these two men have known each other for so long. They've been through so much. They have fought each other before, but they've also fought on each other's side, and they know each other tremendously well. I'm saying that Ty Awesome has climbed the mountain from the bottom before, but it took a long time. He gave himself that time to build up that confidence. Here he is jumping right back on the horse, and of course that is really more the domain of the ranch hand. Is it too soon? Does Tyler need to get his head and his heart together, or is this the key? Is winning this title the key to answering a lot of internal questions? Of course, Sean Carlson preparing for the birth of his next child, wants to make sure he welcomes that baby into the world with this gold around his waist. Your daddy's a champion. That's so important to Sean Carlson. A lot of personal things on the line. Barely a 1 count. Carlson full of more piss and vinegar than maybe any other wrestler on the roster. Ty Awesome has a indomitable resilience, especially physically. He is capable of incredible things on the top rope, and Awesome has been very public lately about beginning a new fitness journey, wants to transform himself. Sean Carlson has undergone similar journeys as well. So these are two men who strive for more constantly. They have both been at the absolute highest level of 1CW. And now Sean just setting Ty up for a beating. But they've both held this title before. They've been at the top, and they are men that are never satisfied. They find things to improve. They find flaws in themselves that they seek to be better. Look at that, amazing. Not only the agility, but the precision, 1 inch to the left, and Ty could have dramatically injured his leg, torn a patella. That's the heart and soul these two display, that they are always seeking to improve. Every part of their game, they want to be the best professional wrestler, and that casket has been ominously waiting for the casket match to come, but it's a constant reminder that our time is limited. What are you going to do with your time on Earth when you have it? Ty Awesome with 2. Will you be able to call yourself a champion? We would say that you did everything that you set out to do in life. You can't look at a casket and not think about, no matter how far away it is for both of these two men, the end of the line. And this is such an important night in both of their careers to establish that they are the premier wrestler in this company. And when you think about the starting 5 of 1CW over the last 2 years, Miles Millennium, Chris Wilde, Brian Morris, and these two men, Ty Awesome and Sean the Ranch Hand Carlson. Ty Awesome getting 2 on Carlson. Those 5 have been really defined the last 2 years of the men's division of this company. Of course, I have to shout out that Big Daddy Adriana deserves to be on that list as well. But that's not a starting 5. Slugfest here. Hockey fight now, and anything can happen. They take each other out, but purely on the tail of the tape. A slugfest has got to look to be in favor of Sean Carlson. He's bigger, he's beefier, he's double tough with a leather hide. And a surprise so far is that Ty Awesome hasn't taken to the top. There's several reasons. He's called the highest flyer. That altitude is something that he has that Sean Carlson doesn't bring to the table. We've seen Sean go to the top rope, but it flames out as often as it succeeds. Picking up the pace, and Sean Carlson kicking the teeth out of the mouth of Ty Awesome. Ty's got to get his head in the game. Ty changing things up now, looking for different kinds of pinning combinations. Beautiful fake there. When you know each other so well, can you surprise your opponent? Can you bust out something new? What have they been holding back? And now Ty getting some distance, getting some momentum. This is Ty Awesome offense. Ducking underneath. And Ty Awesome making the most of that combination. And while he kips up, there was a moment there where he laid on the ground and I don't know if that was pain or I'm not sure what it was, to be honest. Big lariat. Knocking Awesome down. And Ty Awesome gets that shoulder up. Carlson effectively just rolled onto Ty Awesome. Wasn't able to get a a lot of positioning on both shoulders. Certainly wasn't able to get anything across the entirety of the chest or hooking the leg. So really relying on Ty Awesome to be exhausted at that point because there was very little resistance. And Ty Awesome, whatever area code you're in, this hurts like hell. We see Ty beginning to rally. And the guy with the supply, low swanton bomb, really getting all of his weight across the chest of Sean Carlson, who gets that right shoulder up and immediately falls back. Not quite comatose, but Sean Carlson has surprising cardio. We've seen him go 30-minute Ironman matches with Brian Morris. You might not think it to look at the style of wrestler he is, the brawler, his mass, and say, this guy, Ty Awesome, getting introduced hard way to the turnbuckle there. But Sean Carlson really can go the distance. But compared to Ty Awesome, oh God! Sent Ty Awesome the distance. Straight to another zip code. Forget the area code. Carlson crawling. And again, Ty Awesome doesn't have to work as hard as you would want him to have to get out of that. Just gets 1 foot on the ropes, doesn't expend a lot of energy with a kick out. Carlson's so excited. He's got the yips. And this is not what we usually see from Sean Carlson because it's got about a 50% success rate. And in baseball, that's fantastic. This, however, far more successful. And the referee gets knocked down. At this point, you can do damage, but you cannot win the match. And the tie cutter. And we've got the visual pinfall here, but there's no one to make the count. Wait a second. That's not true. Sean Hardy is in the ring. Owner Sean Hardy, who has been sitting watching this match, prepared for this moment, ready to referee. It's been a crazy night. It's good to have one of the most senior men in the company ready to do his wait as Miles Millennium and Tommy Fame, the new, crazy to say this, tag team champ. They're throwing the branding iron, I believe. Or is that a cane? No, I think it's a branding iron. Shows you how much time I've spent on a farm. I'm going to look like a fool if that's not what it is. And Ty Awesome thinking about using it. But Sean Carlson, in full view of Sean Hardy, he used the belt. Wait a second. Hardy opting to leave, and Sean Carlson gets the win. I mean, to be fair, it's not like Ty Awesome wasn't going to try and hit him with the...
CW Pro Wrestling Champion, the White Buffalo, Richard
Carlson. What am I seeing? Sean Carlson is aligned himself. He and Miles Millennium were at each other's throats. They were tooth and nail against each other.
Have you fooled, huh? Every month you come here, half of you cheer me, half of you boo me. For months and months, I've had to deal with it all. You're not looking at a now era, you're looking at a new era of 1CW, baby! Tommy Fame! Miles Millennium and Grand Champ Wakanda forever, and we owe you 1CW.
I've said for a long time that Sean Carlson is the heart and soul of this company. What does it mean that the heart and soul is now, I don't know, it's a cancerous heart and soul. Tommy Fame has orchestrated a takeover of the top titles in this company. From the ashes of the Now era, from the ashes of the market, come on a night where we have seen some of the most unlikely situations emerge. This is absolutely insane.
A brand new era has indeed begun right here at 1CW. We'll try to bring you a word with the 1CW heavyweight champion Sean Carlson later on this episode, but right now let's quickly move on to our next match because the 1CW Women's Championship is on the line. Stevie Brooks challenges Big Daddy Adriana on a street fight.
Fair play at all? Adriana is beloved here in Houston, Delaware, and all of the territories 1CW represents. It was a shock when Stevie Brooks came in and took that title, and as long as Brooks was the winner, she wanted to maintain a friendship with Adriana, sportsmanship. None of that left here, as you can see. As soon as Adriana won that title back, Stevie Brooks turned physically on Adriana, attacked her, proving herself to be less than trustworthy, maybe less than truthful. Big shots there. Two hard hitters right here. And in that battle, Adriana, the clear victor. Adriana may be the most dominant champion in 1CW over the last several years. She has dominated this division like no other wrestler in any division. Maybe the only exception being the run that Chris Wilde had as 1CW champion, where he was the fighting most champion. But Adriana, over an unprecedented number of title reigns, has laid claim to this division. This is absolutely her house. We are all simply renting room in it. Flinging Stevie Brooks into the ring, and Stevie immediately seeking safer ground. Is this the real Stevie Brooks? That's really the question. Wait, Stevie Brooks has got a belt in her hands, and Adriana didn't see it. And attacking Adriana with that belt. And this is it's a gray area in the rules, because while technically it's a foreign object, it's also a part of the clothing. Was that candy? Candy corn? Adriana hates candy corn. She must really despise Stevie Brooks to even touch the stuff. Big splash in the corner. And Stevie Brooks looking to impose her will on Big Daddy and become a two-time 1CW champion. The crowd admonishing the referee, saying that the belt's illegal. And as I was mentioning before, it's a strange gray area because it is a part of your legal gear. This is not the way that it's intended to be used. Oh, God! So there's some referee discretion, but technically this is part of the approved list of items that you can bring into the ring. If you're ever wondering why certain things seem to be allowed, or the ring steps, basically if you're using items that are part of the architecture of the ring or part of the approved gear, that does not equate an immediate disqualification. Well, this is a tremendous amount of latitude And Stevie Brooks is using every ounce of it. Chipping away at Adriana in the corner, bringing her right down to boot height and choking Big Daddy. The crowd looking to get in the head of Stevie Brooks, and as much as Stevie says she's not going to get caught in the trap, me think she doth protest too much. Gave Adriana a moment to recover, but Big Daddy was not able to use that to the full advantage. This belt may be the difference maker. Things have escalated really quickly with the crack across the back by Stevie Brooks to the Big Daddy. And so far slaps, but no, so choking, this is where we have to draw the line. This may be an object, but choking is illegal regardless. I am shocked, honestly, somewhat appalled that this is being allowed to continue. I understand it's a championship match, but Stevie Brooks is all but forfeiting at this moment. Desperation by Big Daddy, and things have turned around. Daddy has apparently decided exactly what kind of punishment Stevie Brooks deserves, and I don't really believe that spanking is appropriate for children, but these are two adults, and they consented to get into this wrestling ring. So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And Adriana opting to forego the asset, instead looking to punish Stevie Brooks with her pure physicality. And that may have been an error in judgment, as Stevie Brooks crushing through the midsection of Adriana. You can see his Big Daddy instinctively rolling towards the ropes, forcing a potential break. Wait a second, the candy corn has returned. This has become a Halloween House of Horrors match. You've seen tacks, you've seen Legos, but have you ever seen a ring covered in candy corn? Cross that one off your pro wrestling bucket list. 'Tis the season to sugar crash. And one of these two women, if I have an understanding of the law of Chekhov's candy corn, is going to go crashing through this waxy delight. And both champion and challenger struggling, fighting. Each have been playing defense. No one wants to be the one to crash through the candy cane, but it's Adriana who gets driven back first. Only two. Significantly, our first major near fall of the match, and it is on the champion. This is the contractual rematch for Stevie Brooks. Maybe they should make a new candy called Banana Splits. Would that go over well with the kids? I think we're going to get a candy claw. Forget the mandible. That went right over the tongue. Adriana maybe looking to put Stevie Brooks to sleep. You went trick-or-treating. Is it time for bed? And it is the tap out. All trick, no treat for Stevie Brooks.
And your winner by submission
belt, Halloween candy. We had a lot of surprises in this match, but what can never be considered a surprise is Big Daddy Adriana walking out with the gold. The championship reign continues for the face of 1CW Women's Wrestling.
Woo, boy! Sean Carlson, you and I have been friends for a decade.
At least.
And then, how can you even explain what you and Miles and Tommy did tonight? I mean, the whole landscape of 1CW. How could you explain what you did?
Oh, you want me to explain it?
I just asked.
I got it. You see, for the last 3.5 years, ever since the pandemic, I've gone out here in front of these people, show in and show out. Night in, night out. And you know what they do? They half cheer me, they half boo me. They don't buy my merch. They don't care about me. They don't care about my wife. They don't care about my daughter. You know what they care about? They care about coming here and getting their kicks off every single show. So what did I do, Ryan? Last show, I won this title. And the time before that, I only won it for 5 seconds. 5 seconds before someone stole it from me. You think I'm gonna let somebody steal this from me? Nah. So I called up my old boy. I said, son, what you think about getting the band back together? And he said,
sounds like a plan to me.
So I called a few others, and they weren't in. So I said, what about that one kid, Tommy? He looks like he got spunk. Fame, fortune, power, glory, it's all here, Daddy. So yes, like I said, we are the new 1CW. A little of something old, a little of something new. But you're looking at the top stable in 1CW. Haven't you noticed tonight everything's crumbled? Haven't you noticed that every team has crumbled? Every group in any title match, they've crumbled. Titles have switched hands all night, except for Adriana's. We like her. We'll leave her be.
She's okay.
But we did this, and it's all thanks to Sean Hardy. If Sean Hardy was here right now, Sean Hardy would tell you exactly why this is the new era of 1CW. See, I called him and I said, hey, can you help Tommy get a time? Speaking of the man!
Hey! The boss.
I guess I'll introduce.
Sir,
Doctor.
as you're doing business, gotta love it when a plan works out to perfection.
You see, I called Sean Hardy and said, Sean Hardy, can you help me out getting a title shot for Tommy Fame and Miles Millennium? We'll give up the DSN title to Jason Andrews. You don't think Miles Millennium could have beat the brakes off of Jason? I just came back for one match, Andrews?
Like this. I made magic out there. I made them all believe.
This was all a ruse, Ryan. Don't you see? We've got all the power in 1CW. All of it. And we're led by the man himself.
These are men I used to consider friends, and
Ryan, I never really liked you. What do you mean?
I mean, you were cool for a long time. Hey, we could use a personal announcer and friend. And carry our bags.
Juan,
wash our gear.
Juan, I'm going to send this back before this gets out of hand. Juan, back to the task.
Juan, you're cool.
Juan, put us over.
Juan.
It has indeed been a day full of surprises right here on this special main event edition of 1CW, and still to come in our main event, BT Windsor takes on Team Tabor on a casket match. Right now, let's hear from BT Windsor.
You see, Tim Tabor, it's a casket match. That means one man goes in that casket and does not walk out the same. But it doesn't matter if it's a casket match, if it's a ladder match, if it's a tables match. I don't care if you've got barbed wire on those ropes. The fact of the matter is that when you step into the ring with the big rig, BT Windsor, the result is inevitable. Tim Tabor, I will put your face in the dirt. I will bury you 6 feet deep in that dirt. So when that casket opens, the man that's gonna roll into that casket sure as hell ain't the big rig. It's gonna be you, Tim Tabor. This is war. This is war. You asked for this, and now I'm gonna deliver.
And there we have it. BT Windsor is ready to deliver. Today he faces Team Tabor on a casket match, and this main event starts right now.
star pupils of Sean Carlson, the ranch hand. Take that for what it's currently worth. But no one had the rookie year of B.T. Windsor. And in some ways, Tim Tabor has been in the shadow of B.T. Windsor. B.T. the one that pegged for big things. He has the size. B.T. Windsor is a man you look at conventionally. There's the airport test, as you say. If somebody walks into a room, do they catch your eye? And B.T. Windsor has that in spades. We've, of course, seen B.T. Windsor grow and evolve and change his look. Very little about this man resembles the brother trucker that we saw here in 1CW only about 2 years ago, take down by B.T. Windsor. But few have shown the heart and the soul that Tim Tabor has, the modern day star. And despite Tabor being, as many would say, sort of under the shadow of B.T. Windsor, it's been Windsor that has showcased a seeming jealousy of Tim Tabor and the affection this crowd still has for him. And generally, I think the attitude that Tabor has in life, somewhere along the way, a lot of people got in the head of B.T. Windsor. He's had a lot of voices in his ear. He's been questioning his place in this company and pro wrestling in the eyes of these fans. It's improved his game in a lot of ways, but it's turned him into a very paranoid individual. The strength of Tim Tabor on display. In this tale of the tape, B.T. Windsor would seem to have all the advantages, but Tim Tabor has been the king of leverage. And of course, Tabor, an underdog in every fight he is in. He has learned how to fight from underneath. He's learned to use his low center of gravity to his advantage. And of course, Tim Tabor still has the love of the game. You see it even in this very personal fight. Tabor always with a smile on his face, and B.T. Windsor looking his potential fate in the eye, and it scares him. That was fear in the eye of B.T. Windsor. When you get scared, you make mistakes. The casket match, extraordinarily rare. Usually signifying the official end of a rivalry. There is no coming back from a casket match. There is no do-overs. There is no give me another shot. Once you get put in that casket, it is very clear the other man is your better. Now that casket being used as an offensive weapon, and for the first time in this match, it's being opened, and Windsor was opening it, but then Tabor trying to take advantage, sneak underneath. The casket lowering. We see our referee there. Not here to count a fall, not here to count 1, 2, 3. There are no disqualifications. There are no submissions. There's no giving up. This match only ends when one of these men is not looking at the lights. That's what they usually say when you get pinned. You're staring up and looking at the lights. There will be no light whatsoever. This match ends when you are staring at pitch black. When you are staring at the abyss and the abyss is staring back, and all you can think of is that your old friend is now, hands down, your better. B.T. Windsor with that simple and effective offense that has been the hallmark of his dominance here in 1CW. Tim Tabor may be a modern-day star, but BT Windsor is a modern-day throwback, truly bringing a strong sense of fundamentals, a respect for the past, with the viciousness and the technique of the present. BT Windsor has been very upfront that he would feel shame to lose this match to Tim Tabor. That there's not just a fear of that casket, but there's a fear of the death of the ego. What does it do to BT Windsor's sense of self? Could he even stay in this territory if he were to lose to Tim Tabor for fear of embarrassment and shame? Inappropriately, because Tim Tabor is an incredible competitor who has defeated some of the best that 1CW has to offer. This is all in the mind, the heart of BT Windsor, but there's been no getting through to the big rig. And it's true, a lot of us do legitimately wish that we could grow hair like BT Windsor. Magnum BT, you can call him. BT Windsor not shy about showing off his influences, and they are some of the best pro wrestling has to offer. Tim Tabor with offense out of nowhere, a head scissors. One of the youngest men on the roster is Tim Tabor. So much time on the side of Tim Tabor as he gets better and better and better, but this match is really a question of whose time it is here in 1CW. These men started around the same time. They've risen up the ranks at the same time, but there can only be one top of the class. One MVP. You hear those cowbells ringing. The landscape of 1CW has changed significantly recently. We have new tag champs. Our 1CW champion, Sean Carlson, is not the man we thought he was, belly to belly. And these two men who have both learned the lessons from Sean Carlson, look at that smug smile of BT Windsor going for that cover, forgetting you can't win this match with a cover. On the one hand, that's a showcase of the muscle memory of BT Windsor, the skill, how quickly, effortlessly he went in for a cover immediately, but that will not benefit him in this match. He cannot go on autopilot. And that may have cost BT Windsor. Tim Tabor with that sunset flip, not making the same mistake, doesn't try and go in for a pinning predicament, and immediately flying elbow a la Tito Santana, and the big rig is down. Unfortunately for Tabor, far away from the casket. It said a lot about most matches. You cannot win on the outside, and that's not the case here. This is one of the few times where it does not do you a lot of good to have your opponent in the ring. If they become dead weight on the inside, you got to roll him out. You got to carry him. You got to lift him into that casket. BT Windsor just being beaten top to bottom. Forehead to footprint. What power and strength on display by Tim Tabor. And in most circumstances, this would be very wise of BT Windsor. Getting a chance to get the heck out of Dodge, get out of the ring, catch a breather. But in this case, all of those learned techniques of BT Windsor are actually putting him at risk because he is closer to Doom and getting closer to the casket. The longer BT Windsor can stay in that ring, the safer he is. And now both men inching ever closer to danger. And Tim Tabor has had the advantage now. For quite a while, he's been forcing his opponent, BT Windsor, ever closer to that casket. If this was football, that was a great drive. And Tim Tabor's got BT Windsor right at the end zone. Question is, can he score, or is this going to be an interception right here by the big rig? And it is. Anybody's ball game right now. Hard floor here at the Houston Firehouse. There is no padding. There is no protection. The casket is open. BT Windsor looking to put, and he does. Now this isn't over yet. You've got to close the casket door completely, which means that BT Windsor, what was BT doing? BT think he won the match? You got to close the casket. Windsor is celebrating too early. There has been a series of unforced errors here by BT Windsor, going for pins, rolling to the outside, not closing the casket. Maybe overconfident, maybe underprepared, but this is not the BT Windsor at the top of his game, as we have seen so often. The man who's won titles and battle royals. And now BT Windsor begging off. And Tim Tabor knows exactly what Windsor's capable of, blocking that low blow. And the Death Valley driver on top of that casket. Tabor calling for the casket to be lifted. Windsor's back is in a bad shape. Is Tim Tabor going to do it? Tim Tabor, does he have what it takes? And he does! Tim Tabor says rest in peace to BT Windsor. And is that the career of BT Windsor in 1CW, dead and buried? Don't call it an upset, call it a long time coming. It's fair to say this may have been the most significant victory of Tim Tabor's young career. He's the top of the class. He is the top of the food chain. All the pundits and the prognosticators, including yours truly, had pegged BT Windsor as the future. Wait a second. Sean Carlson said he's dancing on the grave of BT Windsor, but they are making their way in to Tim Tabor, and Sean Hardy is with them. Don't like this one bit.
You got us all wrong, buddy. Nobody's coming to fight you. Hold on a second. Hey! We came here with an offer. BT's dead. Hey! If you want to fight, you had to fight.
Wait a second. Hardy said this isn't what they were here for.
Last chance. Are you going to join us, Tim? Last chance. We want you to join us, Tim.
This isn't a very effective recruitment speech. Miles Millennium, Tommy Fame, and Sean Carlson need to learn a lot about their recruitment strategy, because this is not an effective way of winning hearts and minds.
One more. Hey, don't be mad at us. We gave him a chance to join us.
They attacked Tim Tabor before they even asked him. What kind of chance did this man have?
What you're looking at is the future of 1CW, and we gave you a chance to be part of that future. Hey,
This is disgusting.
maybe we should bury him right in that casket tonight too. What do you think about that? Maybe I'll bury you.
I really have no words to explain what we just witnessed right here. But with that, we come to the end of this episode. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to 1CW right here on the Delmarva Sports Network. Have a great day.